So you spent decades, literally decades, building your expertise. Now you're stepping into consulting, which is fantastic. But there's one document, one single document that turns all that amazing advice you have into a professional service that people are happy to pay for. All right, let's dive into this thing. The consulting agreement.
Ah, yes, the magic words. This is the phrase every new consultant is dying to hear, but you know what? It can also be the one that sends a jolt of panic right through you. The client is ready to go, they're excited, and now they want something official.
And just like that, poof, all that confidence you have in your actual skills, the stuff you're an expert in, it feels like it's a million miles away from the business side of things. So you scramble, right? Maybe you send off a quick email and just cross your fingers. It's a super common moment of anxiety, and trust me, it's totally fixable.
Okay, let's look at why that little moment of panic is actually a huge red flag. Going with a simple handshake deal, yeah, it feels easier at the time. But it almost always ends up in a story that, believe me, I have heard way, way too many times.
It always starts out so simple, right? A handshake, a verbal agreement. But then fast forward to week 3, and suddenly the client is asking for more stuff, things you never even talked about. By week 5, when you finally bring up getting paid, they hit you with, well, the work wasn't quite what I expected. You see, you didn't get burned because you weren't good enough. You got burned because the rules were never set.
This right here, this shows you the 2 roads you can go down. Without that agreement, you are completely boxed in. Your only choices are to tick off the client or work for free. Neither is good. But with an agreement, you have a professional playbook. You can just calmly say, that's a fantastic idea. According to our agreement, that would be new scope. Let me get you a quick estimate for that. See? It totally changes the game.
So let's reframe this entire thing. A consulting agreement, it's not about being suspicious or difficult. It's not some annoying piece of paperwork. Think of it as your professional shield. It's the very tool that lets you do your best work with confidence and with total clarity. This is such an important mindset shift. I mean, maybe when you were younger, you worried about rocking the boat or seeming difficult. But at this stage in your career, you know that professionalism, clear rules, clear documentation, that's a sign of credibility. It tells the client, hey, I've done this before. I know how to run a project the right way. You know, you can think of it this way. This one document is a triple threat. It's doing 3 critical jobs for you all at once. First, obviously, it protects you. Second, and this might surprise you, it actually makes the client more confident in you. And third, it forces you to actually think through the entire project from start to finish before you write a single email. And let's be really, really clear about this. After all the years you've put into your career, you have absolutely earned the right to work on your terms. You're past the point of just feeling grateful for an opportunity. You can state your process, state your rate, and do it with confidence. And if a potential client pushes back on that, you have the wisdom now to just walk away. No apologies. Okay, so what actually goes into this professional shield of yours? Well, the good news is it doesn't need to be 20 pages of dense legal gobbledygook. A really strong, effective agreement is built on 5, just 5, essential pillars that stop most problems before they even have a chance to start. And here they are, the big 5: scope and deliverables, timeline and milestones, payment terms, mutual responsibilities, and the one everyone forgets, change management. Let's break down each one real quick. Pillar number 1 is scope. And my best advice here is to be, well, absurdly specific. Don't just say financial consulting. No, say I will conduct a 3-month cash flow analysis and deliver a 10-page written report with recommendations. And here's the real pro move. Also state what is not included. That little sentence kills all assumptions dead in their tracks. Next up, timeline and milestones. Yeah, you want to break the project into phases with clear dates, but the most critical part of this section is documenting what the client needs to give you and by when. If you can't start your work until they give you access to their data, you write that down. This protects your schedule when delays happen that are completely out of your control. Pillar 3, let's talk money. This is where you leave zero room for interpretation. What's the total fee? Is there a payment schedule? When are invoices due? And what happens if a payment is late? Get it all out in the open, no awkward conversations down the road. And speaking of payment, a standard practice for any serious consultant is getting a big deposit up front. We're talking 1/3, maybe even 1/2 of the total fee. Now, this isn't about you not trusting them. It's just business.
it shows that the client is committed, and honestly, it weeds out the people who aren't really serious.
Pillar 4 is what I call mutual responsibilities. This section clearly lays out what you're on the hook for, like weekly email updates, and what the client is responsible for, like providing feedback within 48 hours. This is what turns the whole thing from you just doing a job for them into a true professional partnership. It's a two-way street.
And finally, Pillar 5, change management. Because let's be real, clients will always ask for more. This section defines the process for that. How do they ask? In writing. How do you price it? How does it change the timeline? This right here is your scope creep insurance policy. It's your plan for when the unexpected inevitably happens.
All right, so now you get the why and you get the what. Let's talk about the how. Your first step is actually really simple, but it is a massive move from just thinking about being a consultant to actually acting like one.
Here's your action item from this whole explainer. Just go to the Retirepreneur Hub and download the free consulting agreement template we have for you there. You don't even need a client yet. This is all about getting yourself ready and building out your professional toolkit.
And here's a little homework to get you moving. Once you download it, just read 2 sections. That's it. Section 2 on scope and Section 6 on changes. Then, just for yourself, try to draft a scope section for one of the services you're thinking about offering. Remember, be specific. This isn't just paperwork, it's you practicing the strategic thinking of a successful consultant.
I really want to leave you with this one last thought. Any good professional client is going to expect and even appreciate this kind of documentation. The ones who push back on it, the ones who want to keep things fuzzy and vague, they are doing you a massive favor. They're showing you exactly who they are right from the start. Believe them.
Look, your expertise is incredibly valuable. This document is how you protect it, and it's how you signal to the world what it's worth. So go on, visit the Retirepreneur Hub, download your template, and take that first crucial step toward building a consulting practice that works on your terms with the professional respect you've more than earned.